Do you want to know how to get more clients from your Facebook groups, more customers, more team members, and more engagement from the group that you put so much work into starting and building? That's what we're going to talk about today. And there's probably a few things you're doing wrong with your group, and I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks to help fix all those wrong things and get more customers, more team members, and more sales in your Facebook group. So stay tuned. That's what we're going to talk about today. Go ahead and say hi, drop a comment below. As I go through this, please let me know if you have any questions. I respond to all of my comments personally, and I will give you some feedback on what I'm doing in my group and what's working for me. So feel free to drop those comments below as we go. Now, the reason I decided to shoot this video is because I have a Facebook group. It's called Network Marketing for Ambitious Introverts. And in my group, somebody was asking about their group and how to get more engagement in their group, and that it was kind of dying. So I wanted to give them some tips on how to get more engagement in their group. And I thought I would share it with you too, because I think a lot of people struggle with this. So this doesn't matter if you have a group for getting more customers. I call them ATM groups. It stands for Add, Tag, Message. A lot of people have an ATM group for getting customers. Some people have an ATM group for getting team members or for their business. You can definitely have both. And a lot of people have groups just to build a community and build rapport with people and get to know people better. So no matter which kind of group you have, these will help you. Now, here's one thing people do wrong. If you have a group and all you're doing is pitching or selling, nobody's gonna wanna be there. If all your posts are about buying something, people will lose interest very quickly, because it's like being part of a giant commercial and all they get in there is buy, buy, buy. So people are gonna get sick of that pretty quick. So let's not do that. Today I'm going to share with you 8 tips to get more customers, more teammates, and more engagement in your groups. So stay tuned. Hi, my name's Kari Baxter, and I help introverted network marketers build their business online with no cold prospecting and no spammy messages. Today in this video, I'm going to give you 8 tips, not 4, but 8 tips for getting more interaction, more customers, more clients in your Facebook group. So let's go ahead and get started with that. The first thing we need to talk about is the purpose of your Facebook group. The purpose of your Facebook group is not to get sales. Would you believe it? That is not what it's for. The purpose of your Facebook group is to build rapport and to get people to know, like, and trust you, because that's what leads to the sale. Building the rapport and building up trust, getting to know people and letting people get to know you, that is what leads to the sale. So you don't want to come directly at people and lead with the sale. You want to gradually build up to that. So like we said before, people don't want to be in a giant commercial. You want to get to know people a little bit better. Now, let's get started with these 8 tips. I have some notes here because I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So one thing to remember is Facebook wants to give traffic to your group. So the more engaged people are, the more Facebook will show it to new people and to the existing members in the group. So you definitely want to get as much engagement as you can on your posts. So here we go. Tip number 1 is to welcome new members into your group. Once a week, or sometimes more often, I'll do a welcome post in my group and welcome people into the group. People like to, sometimes have you ever been invited to a group and you didn't even know you were in? So sometimes people will go into a group and then not even know they've been accepted and that they can like and comment. So when you welcome them into the group and do a welcome post and tag them in the post, then they know they're in. The other thing I do on a welcome post is include my lead magnet. I include some way to give people free value, to give them more value and what the group's about, and to get them on my email list. So that's the first thing. That's your first tip when you're running a Facebook group. Number 2 tip in your Facebook group is to do a weekly live video. I started doing weekly live videos on Thursdays in my group. And it's just a time when people always know, the members of your group always know that you're gonna show up. You're gonna be there and you're gonna deliver value. And of course, there's always the added benefit that Facebook loves live videos. So again, they will push your content out more into people's feeds when you're doing a live video. And even if your group's private and Facebook isn't showing it to strangers, they will show it more to the members of the group, which will drive more engagement into your group. So do a Facebook Live. You can do a training. I do a marketing training every Thursday. You can do a Q&A session. You can do a deep dive on some content you put out that week. You can do free coaching Friday, but do it at the same day and the same time every week, and then people will know when you're gonna show up. Tip number 3 is to use questions as people come into your group. When you set up your group, you can ask people questions before they come in, and one of these questions that you wanna be is, what do you expect to learn from this group? That's actually tip number 4, using your questions as you're bringing people in and setting the ground rules, setting the rules. And then tip number 4 is to ask them what they want to learn from the group. I love this idea. So when you ask people what they're expecting to get out of it, then you have more ideas of what people are looking to learn, and you can create content from that. Tip number 5 is to collect their email addresses in the questions when you let them into the group. Again, that's another way to add people to your email list, another way to follow up with them and build rapport. Tip number 6 is to do a post every day. Keep it moving in the group. Always be putting in new content, thinking about your topic, the niche of your group, and what they want to be learning. It's a great way to drive more engagement and more rapport. This can be inspiration, it can be education, how to do something, encouragement, whatever your group is, needing and looking for. I mean, everybody needs encouragement and inspiration. So that's great for any group. You can also teach them things. And then what else did I have? Other ideas. But just give value to them. So even if they walk away, that day and they didn't buy something from you, they still got value from you. That's the idea of posting every single day. Number 7 is to respond to other people's posts in your group and the comments. It doesn't have to be a long coaching session, which I tend to do. It doesn't have to be a long comment. It can even just be an emoji or liking it, something, a heart, a sticker, something so they know you see them and they know you appreciate them and they know you're there. Just acknowledge the people that are in your group, and it'll go a long way towards building that trust that you want to build with your people. And number 8 tip for groups is to shout out your top contributors. So the people who are posting the most, the people who are sharing, the people who are commenting and liking, give them a shout out. It's the concept of whatever you want more of, encourage that. Like praise what you want more of. How did I write that down? Reward people for doing the behavior you want to see. So as you shout them out and shout out people for participating, other people will see that and then they'll participate. So it's just a way to keep building the rapport, the connection, the trust and the bond that you have with these people. So those are the 8 tips to improving the engagement in your group and building rapport, which leads to more customers, more sales. So let me know, which tip is your favorite? Which one are you going to implement in your group? Drop a comment below and let me know. My favorite one is probably asking people in the questions when they join the group what they want to keep learning more of. I love that question because it's such a great way to generate new content. So, groups are such an important way to build your tribe, build a community, build a group of people that know, like, and trust you. And it's perfect for introverts because instead of sending out tons of random messages to people who don't know you or friends from 20 years ago that don't, have any idea what you're doing, instead of doing that, which is so draining to introverts, right? Like, we talk to as little people as possible. Sending out messages to strangers was draining for me. But when you build a group, you can have real connection with people. It's more authentic, it's more genuine. It feels better all the way around. So I would do that. And then Facebook is putting such an emphasis on groups right now. Have you noticed, I've seen commercials on YouTube for Facebook groups. I've seen them advertising on TV. So Facebook is pushing this right now. So the more content you put out, the more they're gonna drive people back into your group to engage. So if you have a group, this is such a great time to build it up and get it going. Now, if you got value from this, I would love it if you would like and comment. I would love it if you would share it out to your audience, share it on your profile, share it on your page, share it into your group if you got value from this and you think it could help other people. I would really appreciate that. And I do have one more thing for you. If you want to grab my guide that I created, Network Marketing for Ambitious Introverts, it's really a playbook for doing network marketing as an introvert. And in it, I explain how my story of getting so sick of prospecting that I almost quit the industry. And these were some things that I started doing instead to start getting more clients and more customers in a way that was real to me and authentic to me. So I hope you got value from this. If you did, please share it out. Thank you for watching KBTV, and I'll see you in the next video.